Hi, it's Brenda. And there's a cute little fuzzball sound asleep, Addie.
Hi, welcome to my channel, My New Me, where you get to watch as I try to make sense out of the chaos that has become my life and my home. How lucky are you?
So much has happened in the last 9 days since our last video. And the past 4 days since my last post on Facebook. 3 days, something. A lot has happened. So here's our update. First off, thank you very, very much to everyone who donated. We absolutely cannot believe how generous and how kind and caring that you folks have been. I mean, we were going to be beyond happy if we made, $2,000 in 6 months. And the fact that we hit the goal and surpassed it in a week is just amazing to me. So thank you very, very much. That has sped up our plans quite a bit, much quicker than we expected. So court was fun. Court was I don't like talking in front of people. Thank God Josh was there because he does good with the talking and I don't like talking. But basically the gist of it was we could pay the rent that we hadn't paid and June's rent and, get out when we can and force the landlord to do the other type of eviction, not the non-payment type of eviction. Or we could not pay anything and just get out now. And then if the landlord wanted more money from us, he would have to sue us in civil court. If we wanted more recompense from him, we would have to sue him in civil court. So we chose to not give them another penny. There are a couple of things that I forgot to say in the video that are pretty important. So I thought I would just add them here with some kitty snoozes instead of redoing anything. One thing is, and many of you mentioned this in the comments, but that was kind of like after the fact, after it was all over and done with. When we did not pay the rent, we did not pay it because of everything they were doing and everything that was going on, which is fine, but you have to put that in writing. And a few random text messages is not enough. So we should have had it all done up in writing and mailed to them certified so that we had proof of the notification. We did not do that. The second big mistake that we made was that we had each month's rent in cash. We should have at least put it in our bank account so that we could show the monthly bank statements as proof that we had the rent, rather than just taking our word for it. And we did not do that. So if you ever find yourselves in the same situation or similar situations, don't do what we did. And we planned on it. We hoped for the best, but we planned for the worst. But also, no matter what happened, we didn't want to stay there any longer. I mean, remember, this had been going on since March. So we had been looking, we had been making arrangements. We were prepared to pay April, May's rent to the court in case he made us, which thankfully we didn't have to. As far as whether or not we're going to sue him, I don't know. I mean, we'd have to get an attorney, that's filing fees, I don't know. As it is, we lived there for free for 2 months, and he's going to have to make some major changes before he can rent it to someone else. Maybe that's enough. Right now we have other things to concentrate on and focus on. We decided to just get out. So we had a cheap monthly apartment lined up. We were needing it much sooner than we had told the new landlord. Plus he's like out of town on some family emergency. So we're kind of waiting on that right now. In the meantime, we are in a very cheap, very old hotel or motel. I'm not sure what it is. It's not the best place in the world, but it's clean. That's all I care about. and we feel safe here. So it's working for right now. And like I said, we were planning on getting out. We had, the first month's rent and security for the new place saved up. We have April and May's rent that we ended up not having to pay. So we aren't in a bad place right now. It's just, it would have been nice if we could have gone right from the old place to the new place. But one of the reasons that we decided to not wait was just the stress factor and the irritation factor. A couple of hours after court, the owner showed up. Well, we're deciding what to do, when to do it, and on, and having conversations and kind of just trying to chill. And a truck pulls up out front with two guys in it, and they just sit out front and stare at the front of the house. And then about 10-15 minutes later, the owner shows up, and he and one of the guys comes to the front door. The other guy stayed down on the sidewalk in front of the house and wanted to know when we were going to be out. And we're just like, we don't know yet. We haven't decided yet. We aren't sure yet. Are you supposed to be doing this? It's like, pretty sure you aren't supposed to be. So, we'll let you know when we know something. So that was that conversation. The day of court. The day after court, somebody was in the upstairs apartment that's been empty since January. Stomping around, banging around, doing things. We look out and we see that it's the landlord, not the owner. The landlord that the owner said had nothing to do with the place anymore. Yeah, right. Up there stomping around, banging around. So that was Thursday. Friday, we went out to run some errands and get the U-Haul. And when we come back, the lawn that hadn't been mowed since Josh mowed it 2 months ago, that was mowed, fully mowed. And it was just kind of too much going on. What was that? Oh, Saturday. Then Saturday, a realtor showed up to take pictures of the whole place because they were going to put it on the market. And we're like, well, we're in the midst of packing and moving, so no, you can't come in right now, but have at it with the rest of the place. So it was just, it was like harassment. It was, could we have gone after him for it? Probably. Or done something, called the cops, who knows, but we were done anyway. We were planning on being out. I'd been mostly packed. Oh, a little stretchy girl. I had been mostly packed for the past month. We just had our daily necessities were still out, and we were just ready to be gone. So we finished packing up and did a final cleaning, the basic cleaning. Didn't do any deep cleaning, that's for sure. It's still in 10 times better shape than it was when we moved in. But we're trying to get a hold of the new landlord. See, our plan had been move out of there, get a cheap month-to-month, 1-bedroom efficiency, whatever we could. That was the cheapest. While we looked for and, continued to save up for an RV, and then made the changes that we wanted to make for it. So we were still going to follow that plan because of your generosity. It is going to happen much quicker than we had initially thought, which is very good. We're still going to follow that plan. We left the old place a little earlier than we had anticipated, but not that much earlier. And it was, we thought we could get the keys to the new place sooner than we could, but he certainly couldn't plan his, his family emergency. So, and it is going to be a monthly thing. He knows we only want it for a few months. We said 6 months tops by the time we saved up for it and, found an RV. Now, because of the generosity of you folks, it's going to be less time than that. So thank you for that again. I'll never be able to thank you enough. So what we're doing right now is we're staying in this little, it's not, the people are really, really nice here. They allowed the cats. It's old. It's run down, not well repaired, but you know, some of the other guests are kind of loud, but that's okay. It's good enough for now. It's cheap. And so far, with the room in the U-Haul, we haven't even spent half of April's rent, which is a good thing. So if we can, I would prefer to put that whole thing towards the RV, you know, if at all possible, as much of it as we can. But we're going to have to live while we're searching, and we're going to have to, you know, have the same expenses we've always had, just hopefully fewer expenses. And we don't know how long this guy is going to be gone. We are looking at, I think I'm disturbing someone. I don't know if you can see her against the purple blanket, but she keeps lifting her head and then laying it back down again. I think my talking is bothering her. Shh. But we don't know how long. We don't know how long he's going to be gone. You know, if we can get an answer, I don't know. We're kind of also still looking for another cheap place, maybe. But we left there a little bit earlier than we expected, but than we had planned on, but not that much earlier. So that's what happened with that. Whether we're going to want to sue him, I don't know if it's worth the hassle, to tell you the truth. He had a slap on the wrist. You know, at his age, I doubt he's going to change. But we did call Code. Code did come in and take pictures and ask questions and wanted to get upstairs, which we didn't have a key to. So whatever happens with that happens. The way we see it now, it's out of our hands. We have plans to make and an amazing new future to work on. So as far as the RV goes, we have done a little bit more shopping. I've been looking. I've been, you know, Craigslist and online sites and Facebook Marketplace and all those. We went around and looked at some of the local lots. I really don't want to buy in New York State because they salt their roads and that creates a lot of rust on vehicles. But, you know, Pennsylvania would be better, and that's close to us. But we're going to see. I don't, like, the local lots all have expensive RVs, and I don't want that at all. Number one, we don't want to pay for the insurance for that. But also, I want to make changes to it and adjustments to make it comfortable for us and to suit our daily needs. And I'm not going to spend a lot of money on something to just tear it apart and redo it. So, but we do have someone in our life who has been, he's owned RVs for the past 15, 20 years. I'm going to call him our RV guru. And he is helping us look, helping us shop. He's going to go with us to look at anything that we decide to get. He has promised to put us through an RV boot camp and walk us through and teach us everything that needs to be done with it, and you know, until we got it down pat. Well, he's going to put Josh through the RV boot camp, teach him how to do everything that has to be done with it, and I'm just going to stand there and point and ask questions and probably film it. He has almost agreed to be on camera. He's not too sure about his face being on camera, but he's almost agreed to be on camera, so hopefully you guys will see him. He's a super, super nice guy. So, but we just, I mean, as far as the RV itself goes, we need a toilet and we need a shower. Everything else we can work around. My biggest concern is that the vehicle part of it is sound. but also it's something that we can work on as we go. I mean, we're already planning on with work camping, we're planning on our first 6 months being pretty stationary. We are hoping that, if we can get on the road by the end of the summer and hit the October work camping jobs, that's going to give us 4 to 6 months of being in a full hookup site and making money but living for free. I should explain, for those who don't know what work camping is, I talk about it like it's taking a shower, just because I've lived it for 15 years. 10 years of my research. In the past 5 years, I still followed everything. I'm still addicted to it. But work camping is, you are hired for like an RV park, a campground, a tourist attraction, or a company, and you work for them, and part of your salary is your full hookup sites. Now, some of the campgrounds are, you work for 20 hours, and that gives you the site. In the RV park, it gives you water, sewer, electric, Wi-Fi. Some of them give cable. Some of them, you have a landline telephone if you have your own cords and your own phone. Some of them give a laundry allowance or discounts in their store, things like that. Some give pay, like dollar amounts on top of that. Like this one that we're looking at, it gives you all of that for 20 hours a week. No, I think that one is 25 hours a week. It's your site with sewer, water, electric, Wi-Fi, TV. It's like an extra $10 a month for a landline phone, which if we would even need that. It's you get 2 loads of laundry a week in their paid laundromat, and then they pay $7 an hour after that. So you live for free and make a little bit more money. The parks that, you work for 20 hours just for your hookup, and then that's it. They're all like around tourist areas, so Josh could probably go out and get another part-time job somewhere else to make the income. Others, you work for the company, and there's a surprising amount of them out there. But you get the full hookup as part of your salary, and then you make a decent salary on top of that. And you're basically living for free while you're working, other than vehicle insurance, health insurance, cell phone, things like that. But they don't pay for propane, but we're hoping to have it where the only thing we need propane for is the refrigerator when we're traveling or when we aren't plugged in. Everything else, I have an entire electric kitchen of the small appliances, the casoris, rice cooker, the electric tea kettle. There's so many of those things that I can just plug into an outlet and use. I don't need to use a propane stove and oven. In fact, one of the changes I'm thinking of making is taking it out. Rather than having that 200-pound oven, I would much rather have 200 pounds worth of supplies. But there are a lot of, since they've existed, not since they've existed, but for 10 years I've been signed up to there's like the Work Camper News. They send out a weekly newsletter with all the jobs that are available. There are a few other websites that I've been signed up to, and I get their newsletters. And we've just been going through and looking at the area, what we might want. Like there's a lot of jobs around Houston and San Antonio and stuff like that over the summer, but they have pretty bad weather, so we're trying to avoid the bad weather as well, the most likely bad weather areas. So that's our plan. Our first 6 months or so is going to be mainly our only travel is going to be going from one work camping job to the next, and work on upgrading the RV. We'd love to get solar on it eventually. That way we can do more boondocking, which is living without hookups. You can, BLM land. I think it's like $200 for a year, and you can camp for free for 14 days, and then you just have to move to another part of it. You just can't be in the same spot for more than 14 days. So, yeah, you can camp for free for forever in that way. You would just need to empty your tanks and refill your water if you had solar. So that's our thoughts for right now. That's what we are hoping for, and that's what we're planning. Now, that doesn't mean it's set in stone. It doesn't mean that, the world's going to end for us if it doesn't happen that way. It just means that right now, that's what our plans are. Our main priorities right now is getting in a cheap apartment, and hopefully this guy gets back in touch with us very soon. If not, then, we are continuing to look for somewhere else, but we're living in a motel room right now. We can continue to, even if we got just a little efficiency, it's only for a few months. We're okay with being in such a tight space for a short amount of time if it gets us that much quicker to our goal. I would love to be able to spend the next 2 or 3 months living off of only the rent that we did not have to pay for the last place. That would work, and that way the boys' paychecks can go right towards our future plans. And then the generosity of the GoFundMe and our savings that can go towards that. Our plan is we do have a little bit of a nest egg, a little bit of an emergency fund, which we are hoping to not have to touch that at all. That's for on the road. That's for unexpected flat tires or, whatever issues there may be. But our plan is also to go over the entire vehicle with a fine-tooth comb. So long as there's no mold, so long as the plumbing isn't leaking. We do need to shower, and we need a toilet. I really need a toilet. That's why we don't want a tow behind. We want a Class C, because it just, I like the feel of a Class C better. And if we had to pull over every time I had to pee throughout the day, we would never get anywhere. So having a toilet that's accessible while we're moving is kind of a priority. But that's what we're looking for, a Class C RV, and I want an older model. And the RVs are a little bit different than cars because most of them, they don't drive that much, or if they do, they aren't driven that much. If they do, it's a long drive to a park where someone sits for 2 weeks and then a long drive back home. Then they stick it in storage because they put a lot of money into it. So people tend to take good care of them when they have them, if you find the right people with the right one. Which there are a couple that I'm trying to coordinate schedules to look at. I'm hoping this weekend. But it's kind of hard getting, not that I have a schedule, but everyone else does. So it's kind of hard getting everyone's schedule together. So, but plus with an older model, I'm not going to feel bad about ripping things out and making it the way I want to make it. Like, one thing I want to do is get rid of the dinette. Those dinettes are incredibly uncomfortable, and you RVers may disagree, especially with the newer ones, but they're incredibly uncomfortable to sit at. And they're uncomfortable when turned into a bed, unless you put 6 inches of foam on it. Same with the RV sofas that come. Those are very uncomfortable. I'd much rather take out the dinette and just use the card table as a table. 99.9% of the time, it's only me at the table. The boy is gone working or at his own desk, which we're hoping to. We want we're looking for one that has the rear bedroom so that we can give him a bed in the back and his own desk so he can have his own space and his own privacy. So that when he's home and not working, he doesn't have me hovering over his shoulder, you know. What are you doing? What are you talking to? What does that mean? So, I would like to take out the dinette, take out the RV sofa. I know that turns into a bed. Takes up a lot of space. It's limited. You can't move it around if you want. It's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So I would rather have a card table as our table with only the one chair, and you can use bungee cords to strap it in so that it stays. And if needed, we can take the card table outside. If we want more space for sitting or whatever, we can fold it up. But the futon we have now is comfortable, and that can sit up in a upright position or lay flat to sleep on. But like I said in the last video, I sleep mostly in the recliner, and I want room to put that in there because that gives me some really good sleep. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a nicer vehicle, a newer RV, and just to tear it out. So, and another, I don't care to have the oven in the stove in there because I have the two Kasoris that I use. I mean, I've had an oven and stove since, August of last year, and I think I've used them 3 times. It's mostly, I mostly am cooking with the Kasori, the multi-cooker, and those little appliances. They're just easier to keep clean. They do everything that you need them to do. They're just, I don't know, I like them. And when we're in RV parks, propane will still cost us money. When we're work camping, propane will still cost us money. Electricity won't. I'm excited. I don't know. You folks have made it so much closer. And with your generosity and your kindness and the words of encouragement has just made it. I'm just so excited about it. I can't wait to start. There are a few local RVs that it's like, oh, well, we can live with that. I just want to go get it, but I'm not letting myself be stupid, and I'm not going to do like the impulse buy. We're going to make sure that anything we buy is checked over very thoroughly. And, we know buying an older RV, a cheaper RV, we're going to have to put some work into it first. But we can do it cheaply with family and friends. Cheaper than, going through a mechanic or buying it, new or already in that condition. So we are not letting ourselves jump on the first thing. We are making sure that we're being very careful about what we choose because we're going to be living in it. That's going to be our home, our wheels, our home, our everything hopefully for a while. I had a video ready and was trying to upload it the day that YouTube went on strike or whatever was going on with them, and couldn't. And then I replayed the video, realized that I left a pile of dirty laundry on the bed, and you could see my underwear on top. So I had to redo the video. Not like you guys haven't seen everything, every dirty everything of mine that I've had to show you over the past 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 years? But I had to redo the video because, that dirty underwear was on the bed. You probably wouldn't even be able to tell it was. I knew it was underwear. You didn't know, but I still. You know how it is. You know how it is. So I just decided to redo it, and this one actually makes more sense than the last one because I'm doing the same thing over again. Hopefully it does. It does to me while I'm saying it anyway. So again, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your donations. Are just amazing. Thank you for all of the words of encouragement, all of the offers to come visit, all of the just the kindness in your comments and the emails and it just really, it really makes everything bad that's ever happened worth it. It really does. And we really appreciate it. And thank you for the advice and for the warnings and the concerns. Yeah, they are definitely valid and need to be taken into account. What else? Addie, do you want to come up here and say hi? Come here, baby. Come say hi, peoples. Come here. There we are. And this little girl's right here. And she's cute. So I actually had a whole lot more to say and managed to ramble on for another 40 minutes. But I edited that out. So I'll do another video with all of that information. So thank you for watching and for being here with us. Take care and toodles.